What's up, gang? Time for another Release Over 20 giveaway for August 2022. It seems like we just did this, but time flies, I guess, when you're having fun. I'm going to bring on my co-hosts here, Adam and Carrie. How's it going, guys?
Hey guys.
Hey guys.
Thanks for joining in. Just wanted to catch up real quick. Since we had our last broadcast, we finally had our retreat, which was like where we spent like half a day, the three of us and our advisor Sarah, and just kind of work through what our goals are for the year, and made a ton of progress. And we're kind of in the middle of sort of sorting it all out and then deciding on the few things that we're going to do. But I think we've got a really good idea what that is. So I keep saying, I think the last few months, it's like, wait for it, it's coming. And summer happened, and then since we had our retreat, I caught COVID, my wife caught COVID, Sarah caught COVID. So she's dealing with it right now. I'm 10 days later, I'm still getting over it. So, life gets in the way, but we're working on it, and I think we're closer than ever to having something to show for it. So you guys, tell me a fishing story, because I haven't been fishing. So I'm living vicariously through you two.
Well, Adam and I got to take our featured sponsor, David Gask, with Bait Binder. I know you're going to get into that in a minute, but what did we catch? We caught like 40 fish, didn't we, Adam?
Yeah, we did pretty well that day.
Really well. It was nothing of size, but we caught some keepers. We caught probably 6 or 8 keepers if we wanted to keep them, but everything else was like puppy drum and all that. And I've been out maybe once since then and slowed down a little bit, but just not the kind of tide I wanted. But we still boated probably 25 fish.
Good. Well, that's pretty good for late August. I mean,
yeah,
it's fixing to get really good here now that it's September.
Well, your bank account should improve a little bit with the guys I took fishing with me throwing eye strike.
Appreciate that. Yeah, we always say use 4-pound mono and throw it into heavy structure. That's, right. That's our business model.
Yep.
Well, that's good. Well, appreciate that. Yeah, didn't have to do that.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's good. Cool. So appreciate the report, and I'm gonna just bring in our little presentation that we usually do, and go through kind of like our little agenda here. And first of all, this was big news. So in August, we set yet another Flounder record. 33 flounder released in August, which is, as you can see, it's almost a factor of 2 improvement of a monthly total. Excuse me, over any month we've had since we started including flounder. So, we've said all along that sheep's head and flounder, they're really good on the table. Everyone's used to keeping everything that they catch that's legal size, and that, once we introduce the fact that we probably ought to start releasing the bigger ones because the populations are in decline, yada, 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 it's just going to be like turning around the Queen Mary. It's going to take a while. And cool thing is, I really believe that this data is showing that it's working. 33 across the nation isn't a ton, but it's a start, and that's what it's going to take,
Mm-hmm.
And, it's really cool. I think it might have been last month, but I think there was one young man in North Carolina that he released a giant, like a 25-incher that he caught, and just so incredibly stoked about it. And the reaction that we got on social media was really awesome to see. Like, everyone was really excited to see that. And it's like, whenever we see like the younger generation really getting behind catch and release, it's inspiring. It's really, I think, what we want to incentivize as much as we can. And we've talked about that at our retreat, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, so anyway, 33 flounder, man. Everyone give yourselves a round of applause. Let's
awesome.
Keep it going. Yeah, it's really awesome to see. Now, you'd think that a lot of those are coming from North Carolina because they have such a bumper crop of flounder, because they've had really wreck anglers have almost been unable to keep any. But this is like all over the country, so it wasn't just North Carolina. We might see these numbers go down a little bit because September is the month that they can keep a flounder in North Carolina. So I guess probably a lot of them are going to be kept, but I don't know that you can really blame those guys for such a small season, keeping a few. Anyway,
Yeah,
good
I
news.
guess, we just wanted them to keep them. What's the keeper size there? Do you know offhand?
I don't know, 15 maybe.
Okay.
No.
Well, yeah. I mean, I would say, right, we're saying just throw back the ones over 20. So 15 to
Yeah.
20.
And it's like we've always said, it's not really about 20. It's about picking a limit. So
Yeah, sure.
if it's 24 and above, let them all over 24 go. But let the big ones go. At least let some of them go.
It'd be nice to catch a lot over 24, wouldn't it?
Yeah, well, if people start doing this, they will. There'll
Yeah.
be a ton of them. So, yeah. Anyway, good news by that. Next thing I want to talk about was something new that we have, and we posted a little bit about it, and that is newly. So what we've done, we've always wanted to include charter captains because they know where the fish are. They're putting clients on them. They're catching a lot of big ones. A lot of charter captains will talk to their clients and say, "Hey, we're going to release over some amount, some size," and they're pretty much good with it. And I've had charter captains say, "How can I enter fish for my clients?" I'm up till now, I've just said, "Well, you enter under your name, put their name under the comment, and if we choose your client or choose you as the winner, we'll look and see if you entered the client's name. If we did, we'll reach out to you and get their information." It works, but it's a little awkward. But you can, if you look at the past, Kyle Johnson out of Mississippi has been like the one captain that's been doing that a lot, and he has far and away the most releases attributed to his charter service than anyone. It's just because he's voluntarily done it and asked how to do it. It's important to him, and he's also part of Speckled Truth, and he's caught lots and lots of trout on his charters. But there's a lot of other charter captains that do the same thing. They're just not participating. So what we did was we added the ability for charter captains to go to our registration and actually add your charter service in there. First, you want to see if it's already there. I've added some automatically that in the past people have said they want to be sort of recognized. But if they're not, you can go ahead and add it. It takes like 2 seconds to add your name to your charter service to the database. Once you've done that, it's going to show up on the entry form as one of the charter services. So you just go ahead and pick that, and then now there's a new field to enter your client's name down here. So the significance of this is that from now, when we have the angler leaderboard, those are just rec anglers. They're not mixed in with the charter captains. So now the charter captains have their own top 10 leaderboard on our thing, which we'll show you in a little bit. And I know at least one, Stephen Fluke here in South Carolina. He's like, "I'm going to be number one charter captain in South Carolina. You just wait and see." He's all excited about it. He put his charter in there. And if you're confused about what I posted here, so on the right, if you go to our YouTube channel, Release Over 20, I had posted a video, and all I did was kind of step through how to add your update, either make a new registration or update your existing registration to add your charter service. Now, if you've gone ahead and done this and you are a charter captain, and if you go to edit your registration, you can now choose your own service and even the state that you mostly released your fish in. And then when you log in, it's going to pre-populate our form with almost everything. All you got to do is add the fish pretty much in the client. So it simplifies everything greatly. So all you got to do is enter your username, password, fishing client, and then just go for it. And then you can add, multiple fish while you're still logged in. Hopefully,
does all that operate off the same Q code too?
Yeah, the QR code will just take you to our homepage, which is
okay.
You still would have to log in.
Gotcha.
But that's it's a lot less typing, it's a lot less stuff. Now, the other thing that's important, I keep talking about, is that it's important to make that registration, because the database, it needs the data to be consistent, like your first and last name. Like my name's David, but I go by Dave. If I one day entered it under David, another by Dave, it would think I'm two different people. So if you use the registration, it's always going to be consistent every single time. So it'll start tracking your name the same every single time. And I want to be credited for all my releases, so I don't want to have it think I'm two different people, just as for example. And we're not using this data and for any other reason, like we're not selling it to people to spam you or anything like that. It's our own private database. So anyway, hope you guys like that. We're gonna, one of our goals is going to be to sign up like X amount of captains this year, and so we'll be advertising this a lot more, and also talking about some cool stuff related to this too in the future. Yeah. So next, I wanted to point out this. So I've added a few things to the website. This is buried right now. I'm going to revise things to make it a little bit clearer on the website. But if you go to the leaderboards and you go to the all-time leaderboard page, this is kind of down at the bottom. But it's really kind of interesting, another way to look at our data, and it sort of tracks our unique people. So how many actual people have entered a fish? And then what's the average number of fish per person? I can't read it right now, but I think it's like 4. But if you go mountain by state, it's really interesting, because like in Virginia, I think the average is something like 11 fish per person. So what that means is you have a fewer amount of people releasing a lot of fish per person. Whereas you might have the same number of participants in another state, but they only have 3 fish per person or something like that. It's kind of neat, interesting to look at. One of our goals will be to drive up this number, the total unique people participating, to as many as we can get over time. But that's a pretty good start right there. Mm-hmm. Secondly, people have asked about those tiles that we say, like 20 million eggs for 20-inch trout. 20-inch trout is age 4. A flounder 20 inches is 4.5 years old. Flounder over 14 inches are all female. All that stuff. Like, where does it come from? They sometimes maybe the disbelief. And these are 3 of the really excellent publications by our South Carolina Department of Natural Resources. If you click on these on our website, it's under the Science tab. You can find out where, what I probably need to do is put exactly where to find the information. But if you're interested, these are the publications where that data has come from. I also put in one about red drum and another one about the spawning habits of speckled trout. And you hear all kind of misinformation about how trout spawn. This one is very technical, but basically what it means is that a single trout will spawn every 4 to 5 days. They're not spawning all their eggs, but they're just kind of constantly putting eggs out. Very interesting. I didn't know this myself until I talked to one of the biologists at DNR, because I was asking questions about spawning, and I got an earful, and really interesting. But it's all in that document for anyone that's kind of nerdy like me and really wants to dig into it. I expect to add more of these over time, but it's a start. So again, it's under the Science tab on the website. Okay, this is exciting. This is something that we haven't announced yet officially, but it's all but announced. And we've been working with keepfishwet.org, which is another nonprofit. And they are they have a website that is all about how to ensure that fish you catch and release survive after you release it. And their website is keepfishwet.org. And um, I'd encourage anyone to go look at it. Like go look at the site and really start reading it. And there's one called a bunch of articles called Fins Thinks, I think. I think I have that wrong. But there's little articles and they're real simple and they're not preachy. They're just showing the facts, as we know what the science tells us. And we can all learn a lot when we can all do a better job. One of the big takeaways for me after reading their site in detail is that we're all keeping our fish out of the water too long. That's the biggest thing you can do is get the fish back in the water as quick as you can. And even if it's longer than they recommend, but it's half as long as you usually do, that's a big help. So I'm going to leave it at that for now. We're going to have a lot more information about this, but in the meantime, if you go to their site, you can go to this page and just sign up to be an advocate. You just put like your name and your email, and it basically says I'm sort of committing to do what I can to try to follow the best practices, and that. So I've gone ahead and done that. I think Adam, have you done that too? I think you said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the tab is called Finsights under their science.
Finsights, that's what it is. Thank you.
Science header and then Finsights.
Yeah. So definitely cool. We're really excited about this. We're going to take the one of the executive directors out to out fishing, I think, in October, and get to know them better and go from there. But we're going to have a lot of more information about releases, and we've had people ask, like, they're looking for leadership in this way, and our approach has been, well, we're not going to reinvent the wheel. We think we know what the best practices are, but we don't really. I don't think these people are the world's experts, in my opinion. So it's exciting to be partners with them because we're hoping to use their information to disseminate to our followers, and it's all very consistent with how we're trying to do our job too, which is science-based, positive, not shaming, just trying to do the best thing that we can for the resource. So it couldn't be a better fit for us. So really excited about that. What do you guys think?
I love it.
Yeah.
There's several more that we can add on and partner with too.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a good one.
Yep.
Yeah, these guys are great. It's and on same thing on their website under the about, and then people, you can see the credentials of the people behind it. It's predominantly husband and wife, and they're both, he's a doctor and he teaches, it's professor of fish conservation. I'm just reading right off their website, professor of fish conservation at the University at UMass Amherst. So, again, these guys have pretty much devoted their life to this stuff. So,
yeah. Yep. And we also have Dr. Gorka Sancho from College of Charleston, who's offered to be a resource for us as well. And his whole life's been devoted to catch and release mortality as well. So we got some really good partners there. So yeah, big news. So as usual, we wanted to feature a sponsor, and I'm gonna turn this over to Kerry right now because he's our sponsor coordinator. But,
David Gask, who's the owner of Bait Binder, was going to be on the show with us tonight, and obviously y'all know that right now we're just getting into the shrimping season, which is his busiest time. And I think he told me he was in Jacksonville, and he said he didn't care if he had to pull over to McDonald's to get Wi-Fi, that he would be on with us. Well, it just so happens he got caught up in traffic and he couldn't make it, but he asked us to go ahead and pitch for him. And I think Adam and I can do a fairly good job because he's a character. We had him on his boat, and his story is pretty cool, isn't it, Adam?
Yeah, absolutely. Really, one man show. Literally handmade, still to this day, handmade. Makes all the bait by hand
in his garage.
Yeah, in his garage. Delivers it himself, like soup to nuts, start to finish. One guy.
Yeah, and he was this company he started a little over 20 years ago. and he was a part-time math teacher. He's a full-time math teacher making this in his garage, and he finally got to where he could be a part-time math teacher. And did he finally get away from that to where he's full-time doing this now, Adam, or does he still go teach?
He said he teaches on a substitute basis, so he can kind of do it when his schedule is right.
Yeah. But anyway, I'm sure that there's going to be a lot of folks that know this company, because there's a lot of people that go shrimping this time of the year, and you see it in stores and bait shops and all over the coast. So he's a good guy. He has the shrimp bait, which it's a chum for shrimp, crab, crawfish. He's got catfish cubes called Devil's Dung. He's got some really crazy names, but anyway, he's got the old chum crumble, which comes with its own bag, and you can use it for freshwater, saltwater. He said that this bait binder, I think he said it lasts like 4 to 8 hours in a crab pot even. So do you remember what the hours were on that? I was surprised that it would last that long, but it seemed like it was about 4 hours.
Yeah, I don't remember, but I thought it was funny when he was talking about how, he's shipping it almost globally at this point. Obviously, most of his sales are here, local in the U.S., but he is starting to ship it internationally, and then
through Amazon, right?
Yeah, and he's as curious as we are. Like, he doesn't even know what some of the people are using it for. Like,
then they won't tell him.
Some of them won't tell him because they don't.
They're keeping their secrets from him, even.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so that was pretty funny. And I thought the other noteworthy thing is that he was saying how he got started. He literally went to College of Charleston, the math major, and he would see all the shrimp boats in the harbor. I think at night, he mentioned. And he just was interested in what they were doing and how they were doing it, and literally just got into it. He doesn't have any kind of official, like some of the other people we deal with and talk to, where they studied fisheries management or any of that stuff. No, he just guy like us who just saw us shrimping and wanted to get into it.
And didn't he say they used to, the people, when they'd go to mix this, they'd mix it with pluff mud on the bow of their boat?
Yeah.
Not this, but the whatever it was that they mixed with it, their chum. So you can imagine how nasty that would get on your boat. But anyway, it's a good product, and he's a heck of a nice guy, and we're glad to have him as our newest sponsor. So thank you, David.
Yeah. Have you all used it before?
I have not.
Have you ever done shrimp baiting?
No.
Yeah, I used to do it for years, but yeah, like you used to have to take like menhaden meal and then clay and then mix it with water and
he mess mud and clay with menhaden. That's right.
Yeah.
I think he's still using menhaden though, isn't he?
Yeah, it's still menhaden, but his product, it's a lot more concentrated. So you just take like a little handful, a little bit of water, and that you always call that you got to glaze your balls.
Yeah.
So you have to take the ball and kind of like make like this smooth outer surface on it, and like it's like he said, I don't know that a lot of other states have shrimp baiting. Like, so you might think people know what we're talking about, but they don't. But here in South Carolina, we have a season just starts, I think, Friday, where you can actually put bait down and then shrimp attracted to it, and then you throw a net over it. And it'll last for the whole night. And we used to joke, like some places in Charleston, the popular spots would be like, by the end of the season, they'd probably be about 6 inches deep in bait binder by the end of the season. It's just like, it's a really popular product. And I had the pleasure of meeting David. I was invited to go speak about release number 20 up at Coastal Carolina University, I think last spring. And he approached me and asked if he could become a sponsor. And I'm glad we made it official. But anyone like him that like would like to sponsor and would like to feature them, and good guy, good product, supports the cause, and it's like you said, there might be a million different ways. Like I could foresee being offshore, like cobia fishing, and putting some of his bait balls in a net and just having that be make a chum slick behind the boat. A lot of potential uses for it, crab traps, whatnot. Even to get like mud minnows for bait, I think.
Yep.
I'm sure it would work really well.
Yeah, chumming for bluefish. If you're from like the mid or upper, North Atlantic, so Northeast, yeah, that probably worked pretty good for that, I imagine.
Yep. And we're giving away some of that this tonight, right, Kerry?
Yeah, there is one of the giveaways has the original, the yellow one. So
Sweet. All right. Well, let's talk about the month. So we had a great month, strong month. 140 trout released, 33 flounder, like I said, but sheepshead was strong too, 20. I need to look and see what our record is for sheepshead. That might have been a record. But that's really good too.
mm-hmm.
People like Christian Conley who are making YouTube about, going out, targeting sheepshead, and then catching one over 20 and being like, oh, that's a release over 20. It's going back. And the more people that are, making that example, I think the more will follow. So I think it's great to see it. And I'm sure that that's had an impact on other people, just even what Christian's been doing. So
yeah, he caught a 24 and a half. I think it was 24 and a half inch on one of his most recent videos in the last week or two.
Yeah, it was a giant.
It was pretty
giant.
It's pretty cool. Yeah, he said it was. I think he tied his personal best, if I'm remembering right.
Yeah, and those things will put up a fight, man.
It looked like it for sure.
Huge fish, super strong. So yeah, that was great. So by state, Virginia still was in the lead here. It looks like the trout are starting to move in again. Florida, South Carolina had a good showing. We even had a few from Maryland. So the Gulf Coast states were a little lower this month, but that's okay. Angler leaderboard, it took 11 to be in the lead, and I can't see with I have a graphic in front of that, but I think it stands Stimmerman. Is that right?
Yeah.
Can you guys read that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. And it took 3 to make the top 10. So pretty good showing. We had sort of this leaderboard was jockeying all month, and you saw it sort of jump, people move up and down the list. So it was always cool to see that. And then this is the new thing. So we're hoping to see this really take off. This is the guy leaderboard. So my man Stephen Fluke from Unashamed Adventure had 2 release over 20s this month. He's in South Carolina. He's in the lead. Yeah, he's in the lead. He's not going to catch Kyle this year, but he may be in the lead for South Carolina. But we got a few more guides that we want to get involved. But we had Chris Elliott and I'm sorry, I can't read that from where I'm at. But, Spartina Adventures was the other one. So So guide leaderboard. Let's see this really take off. I want to see some competition amongst the guides. That'd be really, really awesome. We'll see a lot of big numbers come up too. I think we get the guides involved. So yeah, let's do our giveaway. So starting off with sheepshead, yeah.
Yeah. I'm just gonna say that Tron, who's the artist here, he's just unbelievable. He catches a fish and then he draws that fish, takes a picture and then draws it. He's got some new prints. I talked to him a couple of days ago. He's got some new prints coming our way too, and they're unbelievably good. So I'm excited for you guys to see that. That was the last of our sheepshead. So whoever gets that, man, this guy's going to be pretty well known. To frame that sucker and hang it on the wall. I think it's about a 13 by 16 or something.
Yeah, he's a brilliant artist, and he's a great guy. I've become pretty good friends with him, and we went fishing together in Jacksonville this summer, and he caught God, how big was it? 26-inch trout. Wow. When we were fishing together, it was a giant. I need to post a video of it because it's pretty awesome. He's like, I don't know, I think it's a redfish. Pretty sure it's a red. And I'm like, I think it's a trout. And yeah, freaking huge trout. So great fisherman, also not just a great artist, but
I think he actually likes fishing better than he does drawing.
Yeah, he does. There's no question. He's got a YouTube channel too, so let's check that out.
Yeah,
visually art fishing. Okay, so let me share my screen, and we'll pull it up. Okay, so we have 20 sheep's head, And here's the thing. We're going to do 3 rolls of the dice. Third roll is the winner. So first roll is 20. Second roll is 18. And the winner is 5, which is Alan Henneman from Virginia with a 24.5-inch.
Wow.
That's
That's
giant.
pretty.
So congrats, Alan. Hell of a fish too, man.
I'd say, look at all those 24 and a halves on there.
Yeah, this is a bunch of big ones here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
So
Congrats.
pretty cool. So yeah, so now let's go to Flounder, where we had 33 flounder. And let's pull up that one. Before I do that, let's go back to.
All right. Did you show the prizes?
Yeah, I got to show the prize.
I actually kind of messed up on this. I thought I was on sheep's head when I was on flounder, and I already packaged it all. But you can see that there's some bottom sweeper jigs. So
that's all right.
But that's
this
okay.
will encourage the flounder fishermen to fish for sheep.
Right. But
we're all fishermen, so we don't just fish for one thing.
And that's our last brown water cap. So whoever gets it, treasure it.
Brown Water Banter, really awesome podcast out of Biloxi, Mississippi, or Gulfport, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, check them out. Brown Water Banter.
And then I didn't know we had these little Fishburne art key rings.
Keychains.
They were inside that the thing that he made for us for the Cast It Forward event. So anyway, I think I have a couple of those left. But.
Yep. So those are cool. All right, let's pick the winner. So first roll, 5. Second roll, 26. And the winner is 2, which is Kyle Leckie from Virginia. Another Virginian.
Wow, another Virginia.
The 25-inch.
25. Nice.
Nice one. So congrats, Kyle. Kyle might have won before. I'll have to go back and look. One thing I want to do is...
That says speckled.
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry. Damn. Kyle, I apologize.
Oh,
come on, Kyle. We ought to send you something.
Oh, man, we need to do something special for him. So this is cool. So the winner is John Archambault. John is literally a retired wildlife biologist who wrote the book on trout, the one that I've mentioned before about where these facts came from about trout. John is the author. He's the co-author of that. And he's a friend of mine. He's a great guy. He'll be pretty excited. He's recently retired, and he's fishing a lot. And he's been catching some giants, as you can see, 21-inch flounder. Congrats, John. I can't wait to tell him. He's going to be excited. Okay, Kyle, I'm so sorry. I'm a real jerk.
I'm glad Adam caught that.
Yeah, thanks, Adam. Jeez. I gotta send Kyle some.
This is I'm assuming this is speckled trout, and then it'll be the overall.
This is trout. This is trout. Okay.
Yeah.
Now we're gonna pick from trout.
Right.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's kind of like
140. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, Florida Fishing Products hat. We've got a whole bunch of different soft plastic baits and mirror lure. Got a top water. We got 2 mirror lure. Hard plastics in there, and just a variety of stuff. This is nice.
Yeah, and notably, we have a release over 20 boga float from Stinky Pants, and we had a bunch of people say, "I want to buy one," and guess what? We're in the middle of getting some to sell. So we reached out to them, and they're going to put some together for us. Some plier floats and some boga floats.
And they make the smaller one too for your. Is it for keys or pliers?
Yeah, they have a real small one for keys and a middle one for pliers. And I just figured we're starting out just going to get some boga floats and some plier floats and just see how they sell. We didn't get a whole bunch of them, but we'll test the waters with it. But it's a great product. I have one of these. It's branded for Prime Gancho, my boga grip, and it's a really good product. Super high quality. So we're pretty stoked about those. Okay, so let's pick the winner for trout. So we have 140. And first roll is 108, second roll is 12, and the winner is 85. Let's make sure we got the right one here. Okay, Trout 85 is here. Keith, not all. So, Keith, this is cool. Keith is a legendary trout fisherman. The trout gurus around the country know exactly who Keith is. So he's been loyal supporter, like entered a bunch of fish, and pretty stoked to have him win too. So congrats, Keith. Look forward to sending you that prize pack. Appreciate all the support over the years. And then our last giveaway is, and that's, by the way, 3 for Virginia. All 3 of our winners are from Virginia so far.
Oh, I thought the one was from here, South Carolina.
Oh,
right?
I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right.
John.
I'm blaming COVID brain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
2 from Virginia, 1 from South Carolina. Sorry, guys.
So here we've got the bait binder that we were talking about earlier, and a bait binder shirt. We just got in some mosquito repellent, and we just got in some mud minnow hats. So both of those products are in here, along with a buff from Florida Fishing Products on the bottom, Twitch clips, got a few different stickers. We've got some hard plastic mirror lure, jig heads, ice strike, and slick lures. Just a nice little pack of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So
these are the brand new diesel eyes that we just came out with that won the award at ICAST. So targeting a little bit bigger fish, but we all like to do that sometimes. So
those bigger fish, they're in on the jetties now anyway. So this would be a good time for people to throw a soft plastic on those and go for it.
That's right. So overall, we had 193. So what we do for this one is we choose from the entire group. So gives everyone another shot. So 193. So let's go ahead and choose that one.
Good luck, Kyle.
I hope Kyle wins. Bail my butt out. Roll number 2 is 44, and the winner is 152. All right, 152 is on this column, and that is Ruben Acuna from Texas, Corpus Christi. So congrats, Ruben. He's been active on our social medias a lot of times too, so pretty stoked about him winning too. All right, guys, another good giveaway broadcast.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that concludes us for this month. So we'll do it again after this month. It should be, water's cooling off, so the fish are going to start biting. Expecting to have a big resurgence in trout. And so let's keep those flounder and sheep's head numbers coming up. And, tell all your friends, be a positive influence, get them on board. And hope to have some more information for you soon regarding like the BOGO floats for sale and keep fish wet, and start having some content about releasing fish, and a bunch of good stuff coming up. And let's get some captains signed up. Any final thoughts, guys?
Well, my final thought would be we've got 9,300 plus followers on Instagram. Man, it's just we get 100 of them to click a $20 donation and make a big difference on our end, where we could buy more stickers. We could pay for more mail that's we're sending out, because all that stuff isn't free, and we're trying to make stickers more easily available. And we've got some thoughts coming up with getting kids involved. They don't have to catch something over 20, but we want them to maybe write a little essay or why releasing a fish meant something to them, just so they can get in a drawing for a prize. And I've been trying to negotiate some prizes with some different folks, and I think we got something worked out that's going to be pretty awesome. So I'm excited about that. But the donations we could use. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure. Just, thanks again, everyone, for the support and participation. Keep it going.
Yep.
All right, guys. Yeah, keep the interest coming in, and we'll be back again next month. Appreciate everyone's support. All right, till next time.
See ya.
Bye.